Good evening and welcome to our board meeting for September 8th.
All we're doing tonight is the contract on the house, the contract on the property. The closing, the transfer of the property to Marquette Builders will not and cannot take place until all of the actions that you're all asking for and to be made public and to be out in the light of day, all of them will take place. All of them will be made public. You can all go to all of those meetings.
The mayor's letter of the current issue of Neighbors magazine states, a major village board goal is to seek input from the community. I submit there is a critical lack of studies related to this project, and I request that you table and/or delay the vote on the sale of the old Village Hall property until you have the following: an economic impact study, a traffic impact study, an ingress-egress for the structure study, a water management study, a noise impact study, and a utility electrical load study. These studies will allow you to make an informed, intelligent, and responsible vote.
I feel also that the results of the studies that we're talking about should be presented to all Lisle residents in a public forum.
This document has not been available because up until the board's consideration of it tonight, it's a purchase for real estate, and it's been a preliminary document, so it would have been premature to have allowed that document to have been released before its ultimate determination tonight. That's why all of the other protections and public hearings are built into this process. Why there will be a hearing in front of the Plan Commission, while there will be experts to show their studies of transportation and electrical and all of the other things that the Plan Commission is expert in, that they see on a regular basis. This is not just this village board saying, well, we like that, and so go ahead and start building it.
No, I understand.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. My name is Brian Fornick. I'm an attorney and citizen with an office at 15 East Wilson, Batavia, Illinois. The video confirms how everybody expected this process to be regarding the redevelopment of the Village Hall site. And that understanding certainly started with the contract that this board approved on September 8th, in which specifically required that Marquette submit every report, study, document, and drawing that is required under the village ordinance for preliminary and final planned unit development approval. It was specifically stated in the contract. Marquette's lawyer was here on September 8th. He heard the residents' concerns. He heard the board respond to those concerns and make the commitments about holding the applicant to the ordinance submittal requirements, yet he said nothing.
With respect to submittal requirements, Lisle is somewhat unique. There's a laundry list of submittal requirements for a preliminary PUD plat submittal. Normally you have a small list of things like a PUD plat, a subdivision plat, that kind of detail. Lisle goes into a list of 18 or 19 items that are required for a preliminary PUD submittal. The request that we made when we originally submitted the application, the request I'd restate tonight, is for a waiver of certain submittal requirements. The ordinance specifically permits the Plan Commission to consider and grant waivers to the extent that information is not necessary.
Make a motion that we waive the requirement that the petitioner complete a proof of ownership submittal, development schedule, the covenants, disclosure of covenants, waiver of the environmental impact study, school impact study, tax impact study, and market study.
I'd like to take a vote. Yeah, I'd like to take a vote on the motion. Tony, can you call the roll?
Member Sema?
Aye.
Member Gavin?
Aye.
Member Thorne? That was a nay?
Nay.
Member LaFond?
Aye.
Member Pat?
Aye.
Member Murphy?
Aye.
Chairman Rigo?
Aye.
So one thing, one of two options must be true. Either Marquette had already made the decision not to provide the ordinance required submittals by September 8th when it asked you to approve a contract, and then it stepped outside and signed it, in which it committed to do that, or the decision was made afterwards, after Marquette already knew about the residents' concerns and the expressed commitments by this board. Neither one of them reflects favorably on Marquette, I don't believe. The contract in this case has a 12-month entitlement window. There wasn't back in October, and there isn't now, any reason to short-circuit the process and minimize or cut out full public review and participation. At the Planning and Zoning Commission, Marquette's lawyer stated that if the departures from standards and the financial incentives that Marquette was requesting were denied, the alternative would be some type of a block structure without substantial amenities. I don't believe that's true. And I think without the necessary documents, we don't have a basis to really evaluate the truth of that statement. But we do know that the original concept plan that was submitted to this board before even the letter of intent was assigned contained a stepped structure with 3 stories at Main Street and going up to 4 stories. And a plan like that better applies the 15-year comprehensive plan of the village, stepping upward from Main Street and going to the east, I think is something that needs to be fully assessed before there's action on this project. I think that this board should pass a motion either directing or at least requesting the Planning and Zoning Commission to reopen the public hearing and require Marquette to make the proper submittals so that Marquette is held to the promises that it made to you, and then you can in turn keep your promises to all of us. Thank you.
And I don't know if it hasn't been made clear, and I apologize if I'm going to be repetitive tonight, but everybody keeps coming up here wanting to see additional plans and studies and everything else. I'm going to throw it at you. I'm going to throw it at the people in the audience tonight, but we're not going to pay for that, and the developer's not going to pay for that until there's some sort of agreement in place. So we can't take it to the next step, which is the planning and zoning process, until it's in place, at which point all of the required studies, and the vast majority of the ones that were mentioned tonight are required under our ordinances, will be prepared and presented to the public in that public forum.
I'm Andrea Alvarez, and I'm a community lawyer with Citizen Advocacy Center. Citizen Advocacy Center is a nonpartisan nonprofit with a 20-year history of building democracy and promoting fair and open government processes throughout DuPage County and Illinois. CAC recently received a phone call from a concerned citizen who watched a recent PZC hearing and asked us to review the video and offer feedback for the purpose of maximizing public participation in the hearing process. As we all know, Lisle is no stranger to a highly contentious zoning application procedures and processes. While arduous, the government decision-making process is directly tied to citizens' confidence in government. I'm here to discuss 3 policy issues of concern related to the proposed project at 1040 Burlington Avenue. The first one being conflicts of interest, advanced registration for cross-examination, and completeness of application packets.